Going on?
All right.
All right.
So we're
10
gonna
minute content, bro.
yeah, so 10-minute content. We're gonna run through a lot of the things that we saw today.
Yeah.
And first,
While just fucking around in Decentraland, right?
yeah, so what we're looking at here is Ethermon's latest development, and we
hmm
got little slime um entities here that they're gonna have people battle soon, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, as cute as they are, they're supposed to be the bad guys, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So keep an eye on that. That's part of like the game development happening in Decentraland,
That's
which is
right.
kind of interesting. People asking on Twitter and stuff like looking for cool game development happening on the Polkadot ecosystem. That's something I haven't seen yet, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Game
haven't seen that
development.
either.
Yeah, so it's going on here in Decentraland, but yeah, we'll keep an eye and see if it starts emerging on Polkadot. But in the meantime, all eyes on Bitcoin, right, Willis?
Yeah, so we're looking at right now. There's a little bit of resistance at 36 and change, 36,500 plus or minus,
Yeah.
and just now it just tested that resistance and it rejected it. So I'm thinking we're going to hang out between 30 and 35,000 for a good while, maybe a month or so before it retraces.
I think that makes the most sense. And I still think that we need to retest 30K as a support level at least one more time, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, because
I think.
it bounced right off of that.
Yeah, and it's still like consolidating. Just because we're like in totally new territory,
Yeah,
like a lot more testing needs to be done. Like I was saying yesterday, like support and resistance levels really need to be defined. So
yeah, for sure.
yeah, look at that, dude. See, nice, sick meme wedge you just drew right there, dude. Wait, where'd it go? It was
I took
actually
it off.
helpful. There it
Yeah.
is.
Oh, meme
Yeah, dude.
wedge.
Like that's a lot. That's a lot of time. What is that? It goes up until March, just about.
Yeah. Right there.
Well, that's where we are right now. Yeah. So who knows, man? I think for sure consolidation ahead. But what does that mean for the alts? Usually it means like space for the alts to breathe, right?
Yeah. So let's talk about that real quick. So looks like the Yearn ecosystem is seeing a little bit of a resurgence. And then so we were comparing that to the dot ecosystem, and they're seeing a little bit of life here.
Yeah, Polkadot. I mean, Polkadot most of all,
Leading the
considering it's
charge.
like now it's a top five coin, right?
Yeah.
It just passed up Cardano, I think, and it's probably gonna flip XRP here pretty soon. So there's a chance we'll see Polkadot in the top three here in the next 6 months or so. But yeah, this is just supporting my original. I think this next bull cycle is going to be 100% fueled by Polkadot and its ecosystem. Just because, like, we already saw the Ethereum DeFi bubble. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Which
like
lasted a month.
it lasted a month. It pretty much just produced a bunch of like knockoff like forks and like food coins and stuff like that. But that's about it. Nothing really like fully functional, right? Mostly because of the scaling issues.
Right. Right.
So Polkadot has like the I don't know, like the opportunity to kind of like show up Ethereum a little bit with their DeFi ecosystem. That's not even really rolled out yet, you know?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of projects building on Polkadot, and just because of the interoperability and the scalability that it provides, it's almost like a no-brainer. And then you have Gavin like back at it. Gavin
Yeah, and
Wood.
like this coin gecko grouping is like it's useful, but it's not like whole,
Yeah,
right?
it's not
Like
the
there's still a
total.
lot of projects missing,
That's right. That's right.
mostly because they don't have tokens yet. So there's other good Polkadot sources to kind of like look to see what is being developed
Yeah,
and like what's to look forward to. But yeah,
yeah,
so
and there's
keep an eye
some.
on that.
Yeah, for sure. And there's some interesting news. XRP apparently is not a security according to Japan's top security regulators. So they're saying that Japan's Financial Services Agency, the country's security regulator, has confirmed that XRP is not a security. And
Yeah,
they provide a definition for what they consider a security, but ultimately it just basically states that it's more of a currency and not a security.
okay.
So there's some hope for those XRP, the XRP army out there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of deep delisting and deplatforming. Ripple's pretty much canceled as hard as Trump was.
Yeah, basically.
Both equally canceled from the internet. But I mean, there's still hope, I guess, for both parties.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I guess if Japan is like supporting your cause, it's a good sign. Japan is usually like is more crypto savvy than the States, right?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
And then so Japan is still going to allow their citizens to trade XRP. So I guess if you know what you're doing with a VPN, I mean that's your way to collect more of this stuff.
So I guess we don't know, right? Like if we heard any like partnerships happen, like
I haven't seen that. No, actually, no, I haven't seen any
Yeah, because the institutional adoption that they have up until this point, right? Like that was the big thing supporting the value of XRP.
Yeah.
So if they're still, supporting XRP, then there's really nothing to be worried about, I think.
It's true. Yeah, and I haven't seen anybody like get off of XRP's platform. So that's a good point. That's something to keep an eye out for sure.
Yeah.
Here's something interesting. So Bitcoin's back on track, poised to reach 50,000. So there is a historical precedence that a 30% pullback for Bitcoin has been followed by 150% growth. So if we go back to the chart, a 30% retracement, and we can measure it here, from its all-time high. Let's move this down.
Wait, what is that giant wick, dude?
It's yeah. Let me turn that off. Yeah, it's
there
about
you go.
right here.
It was very confusing. Okay.
Yeah, so 30% is about right. 29,000. So if you do 150% of that, that's what is that? About $75,000 Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
So according to this article here,
yeah, they're just using like historical evidence, right? I mean,
yeah,
that is how it was in the bull run 2017. Every time there was like a major dip, it just kept going from there.
Yeah, but this would be pretty massive, 150% growth.
Yeah, that's why it's hard to believe, right?
Yeah.
Like if this was just the first pullback, like the first healthy pullback in like a series of periodic, run-ups and 30% corrections that are going to come ahead,
yeah,
then that means
300,000 is imminent.
Like a $300,000 to $400,000 Bitcoin isn't out of the realm of possibility, but that to me just seems too absurd.
Agreed.
I'm not waiting out for that at all.
Yeah.
But we were just talking about that, like just because that figure of 300,000 seems absurd, it doesn't, like it could happen in an instant, kind of like how 20K happened in an instant last cycle, right?
Yeah, we went from 10K to 20K in about a week.
In about a week.
So we might go from 100K to 300K in like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, potentially. And then like a massive correction from there. Who knows? That would definitely be the king of bubbles. You know? And Bitcoin has proven to be exactly that, dude. It's just bubble after bubble after bubble,
Yeah.
which leads us into the Prometheus.
Yes. One last thing is that, so just to keep an eye on what's going on, investors should expect a wall at 40K. So I think we're just going to be trading between 40 and 30K for a good while.
I think that sounds pretty reasonable.
Yeah, and it gives times for altcoins to do some damage too. So and then the last thing we have here is Bitcoin's the new Prometheus. So what the hell is that? So as to describe like the analogy here is Zeus sent an eagle to Prometheus to eat his immortal liver every day, but it would grow back every night. And so this guy from Man Group, he says that every time a Bitcoin bubble bursts, another grows back to replace it. This very frequency makes the Bitcoin narrative somewhat atypical relative to the great bubbles in the past. And I'm sure everybody's starting to see some of the detractors to Bitcoin calling it the next bubble. And so this is just a historical kind of perspective on actual true bubbles that occurred and comparing that to Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So in reality, Bitcoin has already had more staying power than most bubbles, and they're comparing it to the Dutch tulips to Japanese stocks in the 80s. And then it took Amazon shares almost 10 years to reach a new all-time high after the dot-com bubble burst in 1999. So we've already seen Bitcoin break its all-time highs roughly every 3 to 4 years, easy.
Mm-hmm.
So this isn't to say that the Bitcoin price is not a bubble. The Bitcoin tech is definitely not a bubble.
Mm. So you know the Bitcoin price is the bubble. Is what you said.
Sorry, yeah, the Bitcoin price is the bubble, but the
Yeah.
tech is not.
Yeah. I mean, it's all fueled by this 4 year cyclical nature of it. I guess
Yeah.
I like to call it like programmed Ponzi. Is what it feels like. It's
Yeah.
just
Program.
whether or not it depends on how you look at Bitcoin. He used a nice Prometheus analogy, or if you really don't like Bitcoin, maybe somebody like Peter Schiff would call it like a cancer.
Okay.
It comes and grows, a nice big tumor. You could kill it and crush it with despair sentiments, and then it'll just come back even bigger.
Yeah. I mean, even if you do call it cancer and you do all this cancer therapy onto Bitcoin,
uh-huh.
The cancerous cell goes down, but it doesn't reach its previous size.
Yeah, it does. Usually it gets resistant because of the cancer cells that remain after the treatment. They become resistant to the chemotherapy, right? So then it becomes like a more intrusive.
Like a bigger problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but that's like looking at Bitcoin from like an ugly.
From a negative perspective. Yeah.
But it has the same like growth characteristics of a cancer, which isn't like bad, I guess, if you're looking for like virality of something, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's literally spreading like a virus around all of culture,
Yeah, I mean, if you think Bitcoin's a virus, I mean, it's heading towards gold's market cap of 12 trillion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you believe Bitcoin's the digital version of gold, then at $600 million Bitcoin market cap, it's got a long ways to go, like 24x before it reaches that potential.
Potentially, yeah.
But once it does,
you think about how long it took for gold to get to that valuation.
Hundreds of years.
The difference, yeah, exactly. Pretty much all of human history,
and think about this, dude. It's like, actually, Bitcoin could be much bigger than gold's market cap, because anytime that you take an analog of something and you digitize it, it's that digital version is always bigger than the analog version. Like, think about phones. Like phone lines and the way that we used to communicate, and now, and we used to pay 10 cents per text message, and now it's like unlimited and free and easy.
Totally.
And we have billions of people with cell phones now. So I think it could far surpass the market cap of gold.
Yeah, it can. And just like the viral nature of it, and the fact that it's digital, like you're saying, it just makes it even easier for it to, I guess, have like gain adoption. Most people I know don't even know how to buy gold.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a lot more of a daunting, I think, like a daunting endeavor. It's like, how do I acquire gold? It's a lot easier to acquire a Bitcoin these days. You just download an app.
Yeah. There's no app for acquiring gold.
I mean, you can buy like gold shares, like shares of like a gold, maybe index fund or something like that, but it's not the same as actually owning a piece of gold, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can actually own a piece of a Bitcoin pretty easily. So.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, it fits the narrative, dude. We're seeing it happen live, like we're witnessing it, and we're still super early, So should be interesting.
So yeah, that covers everything we want to talk about today. Just showing off a little bit of Decentraland metaverse here. And so for those of you who are new to the channel, make sure you follow us on Twitter at The Block Runner and also at MetaZone.io. And come hang out with us in Decentraland, and hit us up too, and let us know if we're way off our base here with our projections on Bitcoin and XRP. So yeah, man. let's call
All
it
right.
here, and we'll be back maybe tomorrow. There you are.
Okay. I'm waving goodbye, dude.
All
See
right,
you
dude.
later, everybody. All right. Peace out.